Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tyranny. Last time we beat back the Vengeance Guard, we unlocked the, we ended the Edict of Kyros, and now we're in the Spire. The Spire of Vengeance Well. The ancient device perched up the ancient spire is the product of a forgotten age. It is unclear what function it once had, or if it can be used again. Resting in any spire grants a bonus to all skills. You can also get some, you can hire some recruits. This is now essentially a little management game. We have ourselves a little like home base, or at least a series of home bases with all the spires. We need to, at the moment, we need to, hang on, so what's this? This is missives, this is dismiss companions, spire. You've acquired the spire. It is your home base, gives you free location to rest and recover from your travels. As you acquire more spires, you will discover additional functionality. Yeah, we only have one spire at the moment. Power. Ending Kyros' edict filled you with great power. Yep. A new bar on your character sheet displays your level of power. Press C to see your level of power. Power is 400 apparently, whatever that means. Improved companion. The power you gained by ending Kyros' edict can be channeled into your combo abilities. All your combos have become more powerful as a result. Perhaps you will discover additional ways. Really? They have? Hang on, let's have a look. You have light of the, okay, we also have to work. We also just discovered Ebb, right? So we have Ebb here. Everyone wants to talk to us as well. There's gonna be a lot of talking this episode. We'll see how this works out. Anyway, what does Ebb have? Ebb has Phantom Bolt, and Electric Jolt, Light of the Grave, and Repelling Blast.
Nope, sorry.
Let's see, yeah, it's your abilities there, your spells. How many spells can you learn, by the way? Your lore skill is 54. Not great, your lore skill is not fantastic, I'll be honest with you. My lore skill's up to 80 something. Oh, 94, wasn't it? 94 lore skill. My lore skill's doing fantastically well. I hit very hard with my spells. I need to give you the lore of life, because you need to turn into my healer right now. Anyway, first things first. Some leveling up. You got a point to spend, but nothing to put in. You have no points to spend here either. Stirring visions. We need to turn on the teleporter. Yep. Vengeance Guard hates us, which is why we have the unnerving presence.
On it.
We should have the unnerving presence debuff. Okay, anyway, and you need to do something, right? Now, Ebb's talents either go Tidal or Grave Light. That said, Lantry's a better healer, isn't he? Okay, so bonus to all frost damage dealt. Summons a globe of water to surround someone's head. Odd, you had that ability already, I'll be honest with you. You used it against me before in combat. Purifying waters, repelling wave, clear mind. Elemental fury, empowered elements. Oh, larger area of effect, huh? Shock and frost damage up. Control grave light and grave light damage at night. I see. Right, okay. And that is plus 20 ability effects for all your abilities. Mother's Breath, Repelling Nova, Swift Current, Return to the Source. Okay, you're definitely you're a damage caster, I think. You're definitely a damage caster. Runic Teacher, on the party gains more wisdom. That would be useful to have that around, because everyone has better lore stuff. Good. Terratus' Grip, Runic Lore Master, that would be very useful. That's the problem, I don't know what to do with you, because I need a healer, and you're not the healer I want right now. No, actually no, go for cooldowns. Increase your cooldowns. You are a caster. You're required to increase your cooldowns. Okay, right. What can we do here right now? We can go look at that thing. Let's have a look around the area. To the east you can see the deep ashen clouds surrounding the burning library. To the west you see the shining spire of Lethian's Crossing. Lantry's over there. Honestly, you're the healer, Lantry. Apparently I can learn... Someone said I can learn the Sigil of Life of Lantry?
History and not getting myself wrapped into it. All the same, this is the thrill of a lifetime. Rarely does one see
Hang on, let me increase the volume.
monumental moments in the
Gotta remember to turn it down afterwards again. Okay, maybe hopefully that's a bit louder for you so you can hear them speak.
For the moment, the Scarlet Chorus could be considered an ally. Let us hope the Archon of Secrets continues to find you entertaining enough to remain friends. The Disfavored, on the other hand, will be a certain threat. The Civil War has removed Ash's pretense to play well with others.
Indeed.
So, I must
There's a
ask,
civil war on now.
are you planning on taking sides in the Civil War? Or do you have other plans?
I have my own little corner of the tiers now. My plans are not entirely my own. I am a servant of the Archon of Justice. That much has not changed.
Dutifully spoken. It is Tunon's duty to arbitrate matters between the Archons, so this rift between Ash and Narat certainly falls under his jurisdiction. And here you are, thrust in the middle of the dispute. No doubt the mighty adjudicator will be relying heavily on you to get to the truth of the matter.
Right.
Whatever you do next, consider that many eyes will be upon you, for you have both delivered and taken away the Overlord's edicts, and few will know how to make sense of the latter. You are an exception the Archons cannot afford to ignore. They will likely aim to control or destroy you.
Yeah. Have you heard of edicts being broken before?
Most of Kyros' edicts were either worded to end in a manner of the Overlord's choosing, or the edicts have simply continued in perpetuity. That's not to say there haven't been stories of broken edicts. They're just uncommon. The oldest is, I think, Golbraith and the Edict of Sorrows, and that tale dates back to around the year 110. Aside from you, the most recent in all these stories, Kyros' edict very clearly gives its victim a single way to escape, and someone manages it. What's never happened is the pure abatement of an edict, like using a spell of warding or
Okay,
cancellation.
so it's not uncommon. It's just weird that I was responsible for unleashing 2 edicts and resolving one of them. What's in your mind? I have some questions for
I am
you.
nothing if not a semi-reliable font of knowledge. What did you want to discuss?
So they say Eight Sages know all sorts of things.
I know everything, except for who's been saying that. What's on your mind?
History, a
I'm
bit.
flattered you think me that wise, but unless you are enthralled by migration observations and titillated by triangle ratios, I think I'd bore you silly.
But what better tangent than triangles?
Fine, fine. If you have truly nothing better to do than talk trivia with old Lantry, so be it.
Okay.
A Brief History of the Tears by Sage Lantry. Volume 1.
A minute to scroll on, and Lantry's cheerfully reads through his painstaking treatise. Fascinating.
Volume 3. Years 90 to 94. If you thought
Lore 40.
well, if you enjoyed that, you're going to love Ratios of the Sun.
Unlike Tunon, Lantry cannot kill you for walking out of a lecture, and unlike Tunon, Lantry has to eventually sleep. You've experienced worse.
I used trying. I knew someone would ask that. And yes, so here's my proof. Sage winding script shows
Okay, so
the
how can we
relationship
go through
between all
this?
half
I'm just
square
speed reading. You can
triangles.
pause if you want to read yourself.
I have a diagram. Yes. Way to steal the concluding reveal from me. Now, if you'll excuse
Okay, so he really likes me now.
I-
Loyalty 4. He loves me right now.
Thank you for the rouse.
He loves me right now. Okay.
One moment, my friend. Just let me finish this thought.
Okay, so discuss current
How can I
matters.
help? Are you asking for an objective assessment? Or is this your way of saying you want to gossip?
What you make of Ebb?
Good tidecasters stay underwater. Kyros did the Tears a favor by erasing those moon howlers from history. A shame one of them escaped justice.
Oh, whoops, I missed that
And
one.
then there's your
I like that.
companionship whenever
I
someone
like that I'm
calls
making this
you on your
agitated.
team.
Considering all the things that don't seem to bother you in the slightest, I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of getting off on how much power you're giving me here.
Decide to pounce.
That's why I like Ebb so much. Hang on.
Good tidecasters stay underwater.
I like that I make you this agitated. Considering all the things that don't seem to bother you in the slightest. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of getting off on how much power you're giving me here.
I love
And
it.
then
So,
there's
alternate
your-
verse.
I know little of swordplay.
Lady, you're just afraid to talk in front of me, clear as day. You're sweat. Spare me your blather. Huh. Think that, do you? Didn't know you had such swollen hope for me.
No need to keep secrets, Lantry.
Most fascinating specimen. I think she has great potential. A dangerous amount of potential, to be blunt. The Scarlet Furies are the fighting elite of the Scarlet Chorus, and that means floating to the top of a sea of blood and chop. We should consider ourselves lucky to have her on our side. With her,
Okay, hang
weapons
on.
usually,
What about
you
Barrack?
must have some leverage over him, as I would have thought he'd. I must admit.
Okay,
I am-
something else. If you join me for now.
I will.
I guess just join me for now, just temporarily,
I'll
because I
check
want to.
homeward. See you there.
I want to see if I talk to you now.
One moment.
Okay, so apparently I cannot learn the thing from you now. So let's get back to Ebb.
Salutations, Fatebinder. Or should I now call you Lady of Vendrian's Well? The Spire Queen? Princess of the suggestive vertical slab?
Sanan Tenys will suffice.
So if I might ask, what is your plan now? The edict no longer looms overhead, and Kyros' conquest of the Tears seems to be slipping. What with the armies in civil war.
So, my first goal is to defeat this disfavored, or disfavor the Scarlet Chorus, all the Overlord's minion will fall. Which is a way of playing this, to playing it like totally in it for myself. But I'm not here, I'm here to promote Kyros' peace. That has not changed. So she doesn't like this fate. Like she's still technically a rebel at heart, so if you quote about destroying Kyros, which I'm assuming is an option, I haven't played long enough to find that out. But given these conversation choices, I'm assuming you can take your own side. So first order is I should speak with Tunon.
I would counsel you to do just that. I'm sure the events of Vendrian's Well are best explained from your mouth to Tunon's ears. Furthermore, I'd guess the Archon of Justice would want to know your take on the Archons and their divide.
I'm improvising suggestions.
My first suggestion would be to build a boat. Something durable, and take our chances on the
I like
high
it.
seas. I have a second and more practical suggestion. Look to the horizon and slightly up. By that I mean the other spires. We should see what's atop the others. Otherwise,
Yeah,
someone
definitely.
else might
We
look
definitely
first.
want to go to the other spires. That's definitely something we want to work on.
Queens and kings of past ages have claimed the spires in the sense of, hey, look, I put so I say. Let's see if the other spires react to you the same way this one does. Well,
Okay,
short
good.
of Tunon giving you orders on pain of death, whatever you decide, I'm at your disposal.
Your assistance will be most helpful, thanks.
And I am thankful to not be a bloody pile of offal in Vendrian's Well. Life under your banner will, I'm sure. What is it you need?
Have some questions for you. Speak of
You know,
magic.
I normally charge for this, but for you...
What can you tell me about magical tradition?
Now, you know that's a very personal question. The knowledge I have is a centuries-old gift from the Archon of Tides. I would sooner discard my life than the sanctity.
Sure. I'd ask. Worst I can do is not tell you. Tell me about the influence of how you influenced Terratus Grave. Trade secret, not going to talk about. School of Tides dies with me, and so should all this. Yeah, because she not only controls the tides, she controls Gravelight. Which... How do you influence ice, mist, and other forms of water? Years of training. Can you teach me what you know? I'm capable, but no, the secrets of the Archon of Tides dies with me. Okay. What are your philosophical teachings of your magic? Okay, this is I can answer. I was surprised to learn this. We see all things. People, wars, seasons, to be cyclical, waxing and waning. Light of Terratus Grave. Terratus Grave is one of the moons, isn't it? Terratus, the naked planet, has two satellites visible by the naked eye. The tide-locked Terratus Grave. Grave or Grave? I like Grave. and the rapidly orbiting interloper. Scholars have studied the effect of these two moons on the ocean currents, and a great deal of folklore remains concerned the origins of the moons. A common belief in Kyros' empire is that Terratus Grave will finally set on the horizon when Kyros' rule ends, whereas those of the tiers insist the moons are older than the old walls and will outlive even Kyros. The mind is limited, we are born, spend our lives dodging death, blah blah blah. Or that, from what Archon do the Tidecaster draw upon for their magic? The Archon of Tides, the occulted Jade. Who is already dead? Is a ruler, having arrived, blah 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 blah. Could still be alive today, but none for certainty. In the years of the School of Tides, discovered Overlord's plan to invade, blah blah blah. Though she was not of Kyros' ilk, she was as powerful as any Archon, and from her name and legacy, we can mimic the moons and pull on the tides. Yep, we've already seen that one. I'm guessing you can tell me more than I ever wanted to know about the moons. You'd be right, my magic is generally associated with the moon Terratus Grave, but you happen to know where the interloper is in the sky when mucking about with mystic forces. Do you control water, or do you mimic the tidal effects of moons on the water? Both, actually. I'm amused you're keen on the difference. Our spells of ice and mist affect water directly, but are of limited volume. Displacing your own body weight in water is no mean feat. But if I were to move an ocean current, I'd drive myself nuts moving water in front of a boat at a little at a time. That's where I use a cantrip to simulate a tidal pull. Gravi is the big one, right? Gravi is fixed in the sky, always overhead day and night. It was first named by folks living far to the east. They'd look to the west and see the moon like a permanent hill on the horizon. A grave. Oh, it is Terratus' grave. Dang. Where the sun dies each evening. That's how the older folks saw it. Interloper, the ones that moves to the sky. Let's look something else. Have you heard anything from the Tidecatters that left before the war? Nope. You can talk about other arcane matters.
I normally charge for this, but for you...
Anything of the magic of the Archons? Nothing major. Old walls and spires. I can arc Gravelight with the wiggle of my fingers. Gravelight is the magical term for the light of the moon in Terratus' grave, specifically harnessed and manipulated for nefarious purposes. While the moon's lights are normally incapable of causing so much as a mild sunburn, the Tidecatters have long studied magic that can concentrate these rays into bolts and beams of searing doom. The Bane are basically monsters, right? The Banes are a bit of magical will that have extended life of their own. Yep, let's change the subject. Ooh. So much to talk about. So much chatter. Let's return to our travels for now. I'm going to take you with me for the time being.
What is it you need? I have a great deal of ambivalence regarding the Scarlet Chorus. Narad is worse than Kyros, yet many in the chorus were my countrymen. Most of them fighting because they will suffer, so I must ask. What is your goal behind working with the voices of Narat?
It doesn't mean to destroy the disfavored. Really? I got no... Fine. I can't say that in front. Barrack is right there. I'll just glare.
I'm not sure I find your silence on this matter of much comfort. I trust you don't wish a genuine alliance with that... thing. Of course.
I don't. I'll be honest with you, I don't.
Return to our holdfast at once.
Right, let's grab you. Right, you... I'm going to put a point into... I'm going to put a point into Elemental Fury. How am I going to go? I want to start working towards... I can do water, right? I can do water, so you focus on your Gravelight. Your AI as well. You got... Manipulator... Or War Mage. Yeah, War Mage. Go for War Mage. And 4 points. Oh, you got 4 points to spend. Okay. In that case, we're going to definitely work on this. You clear? Hang on. So you got 1 point to spend. Fine. You got 1 point. You got way more points to spend. That's nice. So we want to get you to Runic Teacher, I think, right? Because Runic Lore Master, yeah. So we want to go, okay, we want to give Grave Strike. Terratus Call, Runic Barrier. That. Runic Barrier. Runic Teacher. And... Moonlight Way. Okay. Fine. Right. All fine and dandy. All good. You need to talk to... You can talk to everybody about this. There's so much talking this episode. Fine, let's get the talking out the way.
Scarlet Chorus and Disfavored are at each other's throats. Can't say I didn't see that coming, but the Archons might have waited until one war was over before they started another.
Their war doesn't interest me.
Funny sentiment, considering you're in the center of it. Not that I'm judging. I'll say this much. Our time together is anything but dull. My blades are yours for as long as you'll have me.
Noted.
What do you need?
2 barrack and verse. Oh yeah, this is actually a good point. Have you ever noticed that you fight particularly well together?
The thought has crossed my mind from time to time. During the many battles of the Conquest, we found ourselves standing back to back with enemies on all sides on more than one occasion.
The big guy here is as useless as an empty scabbard without his phalanx to keep him alive, but I move fast enough to compensate for it. And it's nice having a living wall of rusted iron I can use for cover.
How do you think this is possible?
I would suggest that our fighting styles complement each other, but they do not. I would suggest that we get along, but we do not. We don't even finish each other's
sentences. Okay, that was strange. Did you hear that? The next time I catch a whiff of Barrett's meaning, I'm keeping my mouth shut.
I want you two to train together.
Absolutely not. Our fighting styles are incompatible, and any disfavored lieutenant will tell you not to join at the hip soldiers who can't stomach each other.
I'm inclined to agree. If you want to pair up fighters, there has to be some great passion or magnetism between them. We don't have it.
If neither of you is up to the challenge, then I won't force the matter.
A valiant attempt, but I'm not as easily swayed by your courtly tongue.
Neither am I. At least, not in this context.
Heyo. Why won't you give it a shot?
I think that because I don't want to covers it pretty well. Training...
I can see that you're out to serve the best interests of the war.
Okay, fine, we'll discuss this later. By later I mean now, because I still need to talk to you.
At your service, Fatebinder. What do you need?
My reputation has got good enough with both of you, but we will definitely be pushing it more. Would like to discuss your apparent connection with Barrack.
You've just got to know, don't you? I suppose there's no point in hiding it. Barrack and I are siblings. We share a father, if little else.
There you go. That's the reason why.
I try not to think too much about some northern merchant dropping anchor in my mother's port, but it happened, and the fortunate result stands proudly before you.
How did you become aware of this?
There were a lot of lazy days during the conquest, and among other things, I spent my off hours using messenger birds as target practice. You should have seen Ash's anger when he heard that was going on. One day, I snagged a bird that flew from the hands of a proud northern daddy. The missive was about the goings-on at the family farm. I recognized the name and handwriting from a note in my mother's belongings. There weren't too many people named Barrack in the army, so tracking him down was no challenge. I cornered him in camp, and we shared a few heated words. Some blackmail, even.
Gotta love blackmail.
She tried to extort rings from me, and I was having none of it. Not even Graven Ash would think less of me for our father's indiscretion.
I like your confidence, but my ring belt is feeling a little light these days. Maybe you want to take me up on that offer, or I can start whispering in disfavored ears. Think about it.
Do you even like each other?
I've tried to get along with that ironclad knot of repression, but it would seem he's having none of it. Good riddance, then.
Yep.
We do for each other.
How has this affected you,
try not-
Barrack?
Well, Verse has a nasty habit of jabbering in my ear and making this war intolerable.
So your loyalty is 2. Your loyalty is almost
Returning to the north at
4.
first convenience.
So I'm assuming at
My
some point I
father
can make
will
you work.
answer for his infidelity. Beyond that, I am happy to consider myself
When you go back home, send Father my fondest greeting.
My heritage was a point of pride.
Have you noticed any significant impact,
before I met
Verse?
you.
I've asked myself about
I'm
that
just interrupting them
several
talking. I want to get
times,
this moving on.
but unfortunately,
I wanna
don't
leave
have
this
what
tower
you
by the end of
call a
today.
Definitive, and the Northerners put a lot of meaning behind family, and
Yep.
I told you about what happened to my Scarlet Fury sisters. The hesitation I experienced. I suppose there's no telling.
Something else?
What do you need?
Thoughts on the disfavored? What do you think of Graven Ash? Blah blah blah. What about Graven Ash's connection to his troops? Graven Ash protects. That's definitely true. Could that be possible? Strengthen heal wound. Heal, don't think so. Who would you like to see take Ash's place? Doesn't matter. Very well. Farewell for the time being. Can I make you like me a little bit more? Barak stares at you through the narrow eye slits, saying nothing at all. The only evidence that he still lives is the steam of heavy exhalations that escape the cracks of his helm. Are you okay in there, Barak? Are you mad about something?
You betrayed Graven Ash, the Legion, and our northern countrymen. As far as I'm concerned, you are a traitor to this campaign.
It was my right as Tunon's Fatebinder to choose a side.
And your office compelled you to support the cause of a raving madman? If you have no better excuse than that, then I have nothing further to say to you. Let us be clear on one point. You have my blade, but my heart belongs to Ash and the North. I am a weapon bound to you.
Yeah.
You look as if you have something on your mind. By all means. What can I do for you?
That was quick, wasn't it? You don't like me very much, do you? You're either only allowed to respect you in my eyes, but not make me respect my approval for admiration. Any questions are relevant. Let's see, can I make him like us more? You seem like more than a capable fighter. Trained with a spear and shield in my youth, gave it up. I heard rumor that Ash has an unbeatable sword fighting technique. You flatter the Legion's reputation, but the Archon does make sure we are competent swordsmen. Observe. Okay, I get some one-handed. Nice. Let us speak of something else. Like to know more about you. I want to get his loyalty up as much as possible to see if we can get them to train together again. You seek the trade of war. Did it find you? You think actions bring priest? Blah 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 blah. Boom. Yes, we want to get. Okay, we. Damn. I kind of want to get. Go on. Get some loyalty with Barak. We need Barak loyalty. We need some Barak loyalty. What's the story with your armor?
It's a symbol of Kyros' will. One that I am not likely to forget. I found this armor. Perhaps it would be better to say that it found me during the Edict of Storms.
I proclaimed the edict. Where were you when it struck? He was in Stalwart, basically. Court advanced second year of the war. Among them, a daughter of Graven Ash. Yeah, her daughter died. His daughter died. So you basically went after them, and the storm hit. I mean, he's basically writing it. I like that. Basically, even though he's not in the party, the fact that Lantry is around means he's writing things down. It's kind of cool. A piece of the citadel wall broke off and nearly crushed my skull. I remember a few scattered moments, and then suddenly armor. Total protection. You handle your own repairs? I try to keep the surface oiled to slow the spreading rust, and I bend the plates from time to time. But repairs? Maintenance? Nah. If you have any ideas how to better maintain this situation, I'm open to discussing them. Tell me about your name. You have no right to such information. Only a true friend or ally of the Legion has any claim to my informal speech. As with all disfavored, I assume you grew up in the Northern Empire. Yep. Yep. Okay, speak of something else. Let's discuss some immediate concerns. No.
The thought has crossed.
The big guy here is as useless as an empty sky.
Is it because of your shared heritage?
If you want to attach some arcane meaning to the whole thing, be my guest.
Go on.
I couldn't tell you for sure. I doubt that a capable
You're on
tactician could explain
Fear
why
0, you're on
soldiers
Fear almost
lean to
2.
rely on each other.
In the disfavored ranks, the Oathbound.
Can you train together?
I'm inclined to agree.
I could. No.
If you...
I'm not going to command them, not yet. Maybe later on when they're friendly. Anyway, let's try to turn this thing on. On closer inspection, a series of symbols carved around the base come into view. One symbol pulses with blue-white glow. The pattern resembles the glowing lines of light between the floor of the Ascension Hall, moments before you found yourself transported above the clouds. As you stare into the symbol, the chill wind abates and your chest swells with warmth. The air finally feels welcoming, your lungs sated at last. You stake your claim on the tower and everything in it. Whatever that sculpture is, it belongs to you. I can feel the power running through this place. You can sense the magic of the spire even from down below, but up here, this close to the axis of the spire, the deluge of energy is numbing. I feel dizzy. Do you feel dizzy? Let's just touch the sculpture. The stone is smooth and cool to the touch. Marbling patterns move with the curves of the sculpture, looking more akin to the veins and imperfections of rock. You can't find a single marking to suggest an artisan's tool. As you're about to draw your finger away, you feel a sudden return pressure of your fingertip as the sculpture touches you back. The sculpture is once again still. There's a rush of warmth through your body, a jolt of enervation that steadies your balance. A barrage of tactile sensation floods your mind as you feel footsteps and wind, but not on your face, on your limbs. A moment later, the flood of information begins to make sense. You are feeling the wind against the spire, even the weight of your own feet, as if the spire were a second spine. With this connection made, you feel awareness pull from this place, not as a traveller, but as one glimpsing the world through impossibly far away. In this moment, there's nothing you cannot see, though you see it nearly all at once in a flood of sensation that's difficult to parse. You see a spire in the crossing of an ancient stone structure, two walls extending off to the distance, Lethian's Crossing. At the base of this external pyre, settlers and merchants act in every way unconcerned, toiling under the observation of unforgiving taskmasters. As the shadow of a spire falls over them, the mood changes, the settlers pause and share their knees. They'll look up at the sky, towards you. Some of the faces looking at you familiar. You recognize this place as Lethian's Crossing. Near this settlement, built at the joining of ancient walls, you see a breach in the missive masonry, a cleft to the forbidden hidden realm within the old walls. Go to the old walls. Shadows envelop you, muting all sound and vision with slight delay. There's a feeling of perversion, of wrongness. Whatever arcane power is allowing your senses to drift free of your body seems to falter in this place. Figures haunt the stone halls, drifting emanations of cloud, claw, and fang. They pay you no heed, but you fear them all the same. In the depths of this forbidden place, the deepest chamber is bathed in light. An arcane symbol illuminates the floor, though the details hurt your eyes when you focus. With a gentle tug, your focus pulls back into new horizon, though it takes you a moment to recognize it as Vendrian's well. Go back here. The link precedes the arcane is bronze mystical energies. Your body is flooded with excitement and fatigue. The sensation is over, but the positions of the spires still linger in your mind. Okay, we know where the spires are, and the teleport is back up again. Let's get a move on, shall we? Strange. The magic of this place responds to you. The portal, the braziers, it all grows more vibrant when you approach. Before we get ahead of ourselves, it's worth remembering that you ended Kyros' edict. That's no small feat. Maybe your connection to this place is related? Either way, sounds like something for the arcane-minded to investigate. Speak with me after you see Tunon Fatebinder, says Fifth Eye. The disfavored need to be shown their place. If a dog acts up, you use a firm hand to put it back down. If you are to succeed in the tears, you must work quickly. I will be waiting. Goodbye, Fifth Eye. He's gonna leave now. Yeah, he does. Right, so we gotta investigate the spires and find our way to Lethian's Crossing Spire, and we need to go speak to Tunon. Hide the completed quests for now. Okay, thank you. That was a lot of talking. Lantry really loves us now, so he gives us a Wheel of Ages as a combo ability. Yep. Okay, right. Anyway, next time we will move on, carry on. We shall go visit Tunon and see what we can do with that. Anyway, catch you guys next time, folks. See you then. Bye.